25 years ago, I sold my soul to the devil to become a corporate executive. I quit it all to play the blues. My name is Tom the Suit Force, and this is Chasing the Blues. Hey everybody, this is Tom the Suit Force with another session of ChasingTheBluesPodcast.com. As listeners know, every week or so we post and talk to a variety of stars and up-and-coming stars, and today we are at the IBC right off Beale Street in Memphis, the International Blues Challenge. I happen to be a judge for that, and I have been seeking out the best talent around, and I definitely am excited about today's guest. This is Brigitte Purdy. Hi, Brigitte. How are you doing?
Hi, Tom. I'm doing fabulous. Who wouldn't be fabulous here in Memphis off of Bill, right?
Yeah, exactly. A little cold for me, but not bad.
I hear you. I'm a California girl, so yeah. Definitely no flip-flops around here.
Yeah, that's definitely right. By the way, where are you out of California? Out of L.A.?
Southern California, yeah, right around L.A.
Oh, okay. All right. So, although we are at the IBC, you're just performing in Memphis at this point, right? You have several shows
I
here.
have quite a few shows here. Very lucky and very delighted to be asked to perform with a few things. Tonight I'll be performing at the Alfred's on Beale with the United by Music, which is a wonderful program with differently abled adults who are musicians, and I'm one of their mentors.
Wow.
It's a pretty cool thing. I went during the summer to mentor them for the Special Olympics.
Wow, I have noticed that you do a lot of things for charity.
I do.
I have seen, and you work with children.
Yes, I work with children during the day, and I work with, I also do a girls rock and roll camp, ages 8 through 18 in Los Angeles.
I saw that.
Yeah, and we're empowering young women through music. I also, whenever I can volunteer my time to better humanity, I'm there.
That's great.
That's, there's a lot of different things, but I'm here to talk about them when I'm talking about giving of my time and service to humanity. So it's been part of a wonderful journey.
That's great. I see that you are best of 2018 blues rock on the RMR charts.
Yes.
For those who don't know that's the Roots Music Report.
I just released my album in June. This is my first album, Still I Rise, produced by Dave Osti, and quite surprised after the first couple weeks, hit the RMR charts at number 5 for blues rock. Delighted and tickled to be at that spot for a newbie on the block, and I was just received an LA Critics Award for Best Blues Art Female Blues Artist, and also for Best Female Produced Album.
Fantastic, fantastic. By the way, you should know that I am a fan. A mutual friend, Diane Roshan from Connecticut, actually contacted me and said, "Boy, if I'm in Memphis, I should look you up." So,
thank you.
Of course, I do what I always do, and I check out an artist. And when I listened to you, I heard several songs. I actually did the video that were produced, and I was knocked out.
Thank you.
I love your voice. It's got a very evocative and kind of sensual quality to it. And you are definitely a pro.
Well, you know what the thing about it is each song, of course, you can understand this as a musician, is released out into the world, and each one of those songs is my baby. And, but digging even deeper within that personal, developing a personal piece, a part of you. Each song also has its own spirit and uniqueness to it. So if I am singing Lucille, Don't You Weep, and
which I heard,
which is about the love relationship between B.B. King and his guitar,
Which is weird right there. Go right ahead.
which is I wanted to really personify that, and I really imagined what would Lucille be like if she was a real live woman. And at first I
think she was.
I believe so too. So in the spirit of that song, I imagined what would she look like if she was a real woman. And at first I thought, well, of course she's going to be this gorgeous African American woman.
But with a very long neck.
With a very long neck. That's funny. And so then I went a step further and I thought to myself, why couldn't I be Lucille? Why couldn't she be me? So I sang that song from a point of passion, a point of deep love. Any musician, singer, whatever instrument you play knows the depth of the love relationship between not just your instrument, but music itself. So, you know, when you say evocative, that particular song is definitely meant to have all that. But if I'm singing another song, for example, on my album Here Still I Rise, I wrote a song called Be the Light That You Want to See. And I wanted the feeling of people in the audience coming together in a spiritual way. When we discussed, Dave and I discussed the rhythm that we wanted behind that song, I said, I want people to be able to sway to that song. I want people to feel unity within that song. And so, you know, other people have listened to it, and when and if you listen to it, there might be a little bit of staple singer vibe behind it because they have that feeling of unity, of peace, of love, that kind of raw, natural voice. So each song is its own entity and its own baby, and each song has the spirit being true to that. I don't want to say vibe because that's so hip and trendy, but you know what I'm saying?
I heard it in your voice, and I listened to several songs. You are also telling the story, and you're selling the story.
It's telling the story.
Yeah.
It's telling the story. And it's a true story, and it's real, and it's genuine.
Well, you know, people who listen to the podcast know sometimes I go off ad nauseum about blues can be really misunderstood, because if you have a 3-chord song and you're singing about, hey, I left my baby, well, it can sound pretty idiotic at times.
Sure.
But the onus is on the vocalist to sell whatever they're saying.
Well, you know, the thing about it is I tell a lot of people that I may not be a traditional blues artist. Some may not even consider me as a blues artist, and even myself, I say it would take me more than a lifetime. I would have to probably have a rebirth of 50 times over to truly be the depth of a real blues artist, but I have lived the life of the blues. And when you put your truth in that, it becomes real, and it is the blues. Anyone
who's alive probably has lived at one point in their life.
Sure.
if they remember that, if they say to themselves, and I've done that too, sometimes I say to myself, do I deserve to be a blues artist? When I look at many of the people who started as the icons, and I look at their lives and I think, gee, my life was nothing like that. But everyone has loss. Everyone has troubles. Loss. Everyone has time. So just what you're saying, and then just what I get from your music, is that it's very important for you to remember those times and pull those out and put them into the song.
Now, for example, let's go back to what you said about I left my baby. Well, if for me, my song, when I'm singing, it's a musical conversation. If I say, I left my baby, that's like, okay, I went shopping and I left my baby, right? But if I say to you, I left my baby, big difference.
Right. Yep.
Big difference.
You have a great way to do that. I have noticed it, and I will be listening more, by the way.
Thank you.
So you used to be a session singer.
Yeah, I still do
sessions. Or you are a
session
singer, I should say.
Yeah.
And I understand you have done session work for Paul Rogers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who else?
The Who. I used to work for Peer Publishing. I don't know if you're familiar with Peer Publishing. Well, it's a huge company. And basically I worked with writers who were developing music for gigantic artists, songwriters. And so I would go to Peer. At that time, they were in this gorgeous Hollywood mansion. I was probably 18 years old at the time.
That's great.
And working, growing up in LA, we're very blessed to be, really the heart of a lot of what happens in the music business. And so I'd go up there and I'd be in a little room with some of the writers and work on songs that they've written, lay them down, and they would give those tracks to the artists. That Peer Publishing, where I went in this beautiful, gorgeous Hollywood old 1920s mansion, was I don't know if it still is, owned by Katy Perry. So I don't know if you can Google that. It's worth looking at.
Wow, that's
There was
great.
rows and rows and rows of old cars from the era.
So one of the things that I was very, very curious about, it sounded like for a while you quit.
I did leave the business for quite some time, and there's a couple of reasons. One, if anybody is really in the business can relate to this, it's a beautiful love, bittersweet relationship. And it's not necessarily the creation of music that can be disheartening, but it is the business itself that can wear you down and tear you down and eat you up.
Yeah, those who can't see me know I'm shaking my head vigorously.
And that's the best part of it.
Yeah, I know. I often tell people, I say, if you look at music and you look at a time spectrum of an hour, probably a minute of it, and I'm being liberal, is the music. And 59 minutes is everything else.
Exactly.
Last night at the IBC, as an example, the bands were, in my view, excellent. This was not what I had seen in the past. It wasn't guitar, bass, and drums. And
Sure.
These were really some very fine musicians. Well, the sound was difficult all night. Sometimes you couldn't hear the sax. Sometimes the voice was feeding. The vocalists I could see they were having trouble with the monitors. That is living hell.
That, you know what, that is a distraction that takes away from the performance. And for example, there's been several times I've been on stage and I could see, why am I not connecting with the audience? Why am I not feeling the reciprocal? I give you give back. And so I often will come off stage because I like to interact with my crowd. And I said, they can't hear me. This is why. So if you can't be heard, then you cannot connect with people, and they cannot feel the truth. You cannot share those moments of connection. I've lived that joy. I've lived that pain. So that's yes.
Yeah.
One time I actually the mic went out, and it took them, maybe a good 15 minutes to get the mic back on. So I left the stage, the band kept playing, I sang a cappella all through the crowd.
That's fantastic.
Because the show must go on.
The worst thing for me is when I walk up on stage and I see a wireless mic. I know that's going to sound terrible.
Really?
I never have luck with that. I always find sound men
I
who
use the
can't seem to...
Sennheiser, but you're right. It's always a little tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a 57 or a
Yeah, I know. I love
microphones.
the SM57s. I say I'm tried and true to that.
That's mine.
That's so old.
My
That's so old school, but it doesn't let me down.
It is definitely a workhorse. So I see that you have several shows in Memphis. Then you're heading and you're doing 2 shows in California.
Yes.
And so, what do you have more shows coming up in Memphis?
Yeah, tonight I will be at Alfred's with United by Music. Tomorrow I will be at the Hard Rock about 8 o'clock with Play It For It, the Generation Fund. Sunday I'll be on Radio Memphis.
Great.
And I'm going to be singing live on Radio Memphis. And then I get back and I'll be in Phoenix on Thursday And then the following week, I will be in Pasadena in my...
I missed the Phoenix one, so there's Pasadena and then San Francisco.
And then I'll be at Biscuits and Blues with Taz Crew.
Yeah,
I'm his guest at Taz Crew, which are great, phenomenal artists. So I'm tickled to be sharing the stage with them. And then I go February, March, and then I'll be in Colorado.
Oh, and I didn't see that too. So when is the Colorado?
Colorado will be the 22nd and 23rd. One will be at the Whiskey, and the other one will be at the Dickens Opera House.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I have noticed that you. I looked way back.
Okay.
And I saw that you had played with. You were performing with Walter Trout. It was just one of my favorites. I've actually been on a festival with him. He is one of the unsung heroes. I don't like the word hero, but he's one of the unsung amazing players.
He's a true artist.
Yeah.
He really is a true artist. I just sang with him not too long ago in Phoenix at the Rhythm Room. In his new album, Survivor. If you haven't heard it, you really should.
I haven't. I'm going to write that down.
Yes, please do.
I'm writing it down, everybody.
Please do, Survivor.
Speak amongst yourselves while I look.
He has taken songs of artists and not the common ones, like Rock Me Baby, I don't know, that just comes to mind.
Right.
But a little more uncommon, but and has recorded them. And
these are all covers?
Yeah.
The whole album?
And they are just phenomenal.
No, that's always. I read somewhere some blues icon said, I think it was B.B. King, but I can't remember. He said it's better to do a bad job of covering your own stuff than to do a great job of covering someone else's. So I don't know. Interesting. Wow. So everyone always likes this. When people write in, they always ask, what are your early influences?
Basically, every great female artist has been my shiro. From Mahalia Jackson to Judy Garland.
Whoa.
To, quite drastic. I started actually at the age of 13, classically trained at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion and the Amundsen, which is similar to Broadway in New York.
Yeah, your mom got you involved in that,
Yeah, my mom got me involved in that. And so all those people trained me to Linda Ronstadt, Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Tina Marie. So, I mean, every female artist I had studied to the T. Phrasing. It's just like, it was growing up, music was food to me. So I was very well fed.
Do you and I know artists sometimes blanch at this. When you say they sound like someone, and you don't, because you sound like you.
Thank you.
But I did hear a little bit of that gutsy feeling of Joplin, a little bit.
Actually, it's interesting.
Not Scott Joplin.
Huh?
No, bad joke.
Oh, right. Okay. I actually have not really studied her very much, but I do get sometimes people, and I just discovered this incredible artist, Lydia Pence.
Oh, sure.
At times I get
Cold blood.
Yeah, at times I get some. As people will say, you remind me of Lydia Pence.
And by the way, that is a high. She should have been much more of a star. She's about 5 feet tall.
Oh, good. I'm the same size.
Yeah, what a voice.
Yeah, so, I take that as an extreme compliment, and also somebody who has a great ear, because, her music is funky, it's soulful,
Definitely.
It's earthy, it's
real,
it's powerful, it's gutsy, it's raw, it's and she had some, kind of Latin almost feel percussion at the side. So I took that as an extreme compliment.
It's like a rock funk band kind of thing. It had both elements. So she was amazing.
So I'm pretty much done with my second album.
Yeah, I was going to. I'm definitely going to get there.
Okay.
I'm definitely. Don't worry.
Okay.
We have plenty of time, and
Okay.
that was what I was going to ask you. In fact, we will go there. What's next for you? I know you're touring, and I know you have an album right now called "Still I Rise." And I'm sure you have an actual CD, but I'm sure you can get that on.
Yes, Amazon, iTunes, all the good places to buy music.
Great.
Yeah, and Spotify. I'm on Spotify. Also, they're playing my song Hoodoo on here that features Kenny Neal on harp on Bluesville. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, good. That's great. And then I will hear you in my car.
Yes, please. And you continue to request me on Bluesville.
Oh, I like that. Well, I never do that, to be honest.
Sure.
But definitely, I will look for it. So your new album's
Yes.
coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Well, I don't want to give too much away, but it has all those elements that we kind of spoke of Lydia Pence. I wrote one song in particular that I'm going to be releasing as a single prior to the album, so I'll talk about that. Not too long ago, I was invited to this spectacular red carpet event and all of the Hollywood glory, and I was rushing. Lots of times we are just to the dime on time. Mm-hmm. I was rushing, and I threw on my evening gown and put on my makeup in the car and just felt a mess and stressed and frustrated. And I went into the bathroom to fix my makeup, and I was having a little mini pity party. Why do I have to rush, and why can't I just, blah, 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 blah. And so I went to wash my hands, and there was this little lady who was in the bathroom who handed me the towel to dry my hands. And so reality hit, and I said, why do you get to stand here in the pretty dress, and why does she get to hand you the towel? And so, it's important for me to be thankful, to be gracious, and to have a deep understanding of what we do. And so I wrote a song based on that moment called "The Blues Collared Woman." And so,
what is it called?
Blues Collared Woman.
Okay.
The Blues.
And will that be the name of the album?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna wait.
You're not gonna tell anybody?
I'm gonna wait.
Well,
I'm so excited about the name that it's.
You're not gonna tell us.
I'm not gonna tell anybody yet.
All right.
So you have to come back for another interview too.
Yeah. That's absolutely a definite.
Yeah.
So it's coming out in a couple of months, and will you be backing that up with a tour?
Yeah, I'll be backing that up with a tour.
That's great. That's very good. So tell everybody where they can reach you, how they can.
I have my website. My website
and what is your website?
Brigitte, Brigitte, Purdy, PURDY.net. And I spell it out because it's more Brigitte, like Brigitte Bardot.
Yeah. So BRIGITTE PURDY.
That's correct.
.com. Mm-hmm. And they will be able to see pictures and videos and music.
Yes.
And how about merchandise? Anything on there?
You know what? Not too much merch.
Okay.
You have to come see me.
That's
see me in 3D, in real live. Yeah.
I highly recommend, and I don't do this if I don't really mean it, but I highly recommend you coming to one of her shows, because I've seen the live stuff and it's great. Your band is great.
Thank you.
Really good players with a lot of emotion. And I love I love the way you have worked out some of the arrangements of the song. So it's really good music, really great voice, very nice person.
Thank you.
Sounds very giving. You're always working with children, which is my favorite. So everybody, check that out. Brigitte Purdy will be all over the United States pretty soon. So, and we're going to be looking for your new album.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Chasing the Blues is recorded at Factory Underground Studios in Norwalk, Connecticut. You can learn more about Factory Underground at factoryundergroundstudio.com. And connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Tom the Suit Forced. You can find my music, tour dates, merch, and more on tomthesuitforce.com. Thank you for listening.
I've seen some guitar players down in Bourbon Street. They're blazing fast and they knock me off my feet. I've heard some six-string slaves in Memphis, Tennessee. Plays hard with a bottle, fast as big as I've ever seen. And they play fast, going down the door, going up and down that neck till the crowd cries out for more. But blazing fast ain't everything. If you can't play slow and lay it down like a king. When I'm up on stage, I'm ripping it up pretty good. I play fast and loud like they think I should. Sometimes I remember that the song is the king. And slow it down until she cries when I bend those strings. I may play fast and I may play loud, tearing up that neck, really working up the crowd. But speed don't really mean a thing if I can't play with soul and lay it down like a king. I've seen the king stroke the guitar neck like they were making love. He played up and down her body. I swear she had him up. But then he'd bend the strings, he would make her scream. Because nobody plays that slow and soul like the king. Blazing fast ain't everything if you can't play with soul just like the